If you look at airlines right now, um, American Airlines, the main thing that I see right now is basically kind of like a double bottom with a bullish diversion. You can see it on the daily. Uh, this one over here. We basically made a lower low compared to the previous bottom, and if we start actually bouncing from here, I think my target is gonna be around 1450. There was pretty good flow on this one that came in on Friday. That's what one of the main reasons that I call it. And I'm still holding. I never averaged down. I should have averaged down on this one, but I never did. And right now I think it's up like 10%. So I think. Oh look, we have a copycat. Oh wow, look at that. You guys see it? Bad. All right. So right now, if we actually bounce from here, my main target again is gonna be the neckline from that double bottom. We still have basically a gap to fill from 1467 all the way to 1450. So that's gonna be a pretty good magnet. Every single airline is basically looking the same. If you look at LUB, you can see basically the same thing. I'm pretty sure Jets has a similar setup. Let's see. Not so like crazy as American Airlines on LUB, but it looks basically the same. I think we're still bearish on LUB. Right now, American Airlines, I think we're about to cross to the upside, which is also a pretty good sign. Another thing that I don't like is basically that we are crossing up in a positive section, but I think we have a little space to make it to at least to 14, which is basically my first target on this one. Final target again is gonna be those 1453. I don't think that's gonna happen in one day. I think it's probably gonna take like maybe 2 or 3 days to make it there, but the trend is actually there. Levels on this one, I'm gonna be looking basically at 1375 for calls. I put it too tight. Breaking down one, the next one is gonna be basically 1385. So there's a pretty good room to go on this one. And then after we have 1388. Over 1388, we're probably gonna go to 14, which is basically the next level that I have. Again, this is the main target right now. We have a lot of candles actually bouncing from there, so that's probably gonna be a really hard resistance and slash support to break. But I think if we break that, we're probably gonna go to 14. Again, double bottom with a bullish divergence on the daily, and you can probably see it on the hourly too, but not so much as the daily. So I think again, I think we're probably gonna move good on this one. Looking at dark flow on this one, right now we have. I think there was a pretty good accumulation at the current price. Put 1 mil. Yeah, mostly between 1380 and 1360 was the one that came in. We basically went all the way to 14 a couple days ago, and then we actually got rejected there. But most of the accumulation that we have right now is basically 1380, 1360, which is this one over here. 2 days accumulation. Again, over 14, big possibility of basically going to 1453. This is my number one pick for tomorrow. Next one I'm gonna be looking at is gonna be basically DraftKings. It's been actually pretty quiet for I think a week and a half and 2 weeks, and this is one of those stocks that tend to move extremely hard. If you look at the daily, we kind of forming a descending triangle, kind of like a little slash little flag. You can see basically here at the bottom. This type of trends tends to actually break to the upside. The good thing about it is that we're actually bouncing from the bottom of that descending triangle. If we actually drop from there, then we're probably gonna go to the bottom of the flag, which is basically sitting 1674. Right, but still inside day with a nice bullish candle. I think there's gonna be continuation to the upside tomorrow. Going to the 4 hours, you can see that we are about to cross to the upside. Another one is over the 0 level, so that's gonna be a little hard to get going. But I think if we actually do good on this one and start actually breaking levels to the upside, there's a possibility of going to those 0.5 level, which is basically the next one. Levels on this one, I'm gonna be looking at 1784 for calls. Breaking down one, the next one is gonna be basically 18, and after that we have basically 1811. 1811 might put us really close to the top of that trend. Let me fix this, which is this over here. And breaking from there, if you look at this, there's kind of like a double bottom on the hourly. So breaking from there, there's a big possibility of going to the neckline of that double bottom at 1868, 1870. It basically did the same movement 2 cycles ago. You can see it here. Basically did the first bottom, went to the neckline at 1870, then reversed back down and went back up. So it's been doing basically the same trend. It's more like a little flag right now, but it's inside that big descending triangle. I think again, if we actually break those 18, we're probably gonna go to the neckline of that double bottom, which is basically at 1878. This one is one of those that move extremely hard, extremely hard. So you have to be a little careful. I think the last time that Meta was here on the stream, we basically had the same situation with DKNG, and it was actually it moves actually extremely hard. So keep an eye on this one. It's extremely risky. Premiums are cheap because the consolidation that we'll be having on this one, but still, it moves extremely hard. So be careful. You can actually see it here. We basically dropped from 1869 all the way to 1795, basically around 3% in one candle. So expect a hard movement on this one. Double bottom, nice setup. Mighty Dima for hours actually bullish, or it's about to become bullish. Little selling pressure compared to the previous cycle. So I'm expecting a break to the upside. So 1784 for calls, 1764 for puts. I think we trigger for puts. The main target is going to be basically 17, which is basically the bottom of the trend, current trend right now. Under those 17, we're going to test the bottom of the flag, which is basically sitting at 1668. There's no more start flow on this one. If you look at I think the last one that came in was basically on Thursday. But you can see here there's pretty good accumulation at the current price. We've basically been hovering around between 1850 all the way to 1750 for the past 6-7 days. So it's actually a pretty good sign that something is going to happen soon. A big movement is going to happen soon. So that's why it's one of my main picks for tomorrow. Again, a 1784 for calls, 1764 for puts. It moves extremely hard. Be careful, even though it's gonna be Monday. It's Monday, so Monday is actually a little more relaxed compared to other days. All right, next one is gonna be 4. I was actually waiting or expecting basically a kind of like a triggering of the double bottom on 4, with my main target basically being around 1440. I think I was actually expecting a harder bounce from here. It's basically the bottom of the trend, but it never actually gained enough continuation to break basically those 12. It's been getting rejected around there, and I think that's probably going to be the main target to break for swing. I do like it for long on this one. If you look at the daily on this one, you can see basically that we are testing the bottom. We complete the head and shoulder, and there's a possibility of actually bouncing from there. If you see that candle, that bounce from down there, it's actually a pretty bullish candle. So again, I'm expecting continuations to the upside tomorrow. There's a possibility of doing a double bottom on this one. You can actually see it better on daily, with this being the first bottom, this being the second bottom. Rule of thumb on this one is that whenever we do a double bottom, the main target is basically the neckline, and in this case, we're actually talking about 1195/12. 4 hours, we are bearish right now. There's a possibility of getting a small rejection at that top of the flag, and if that happens, we're gonna drop probably to the 0 level and maybe reverse back down to those 1130s, 1140s, 1120s. Looking at levels on this one, the main level I'm gonna be looking for call is gonna be basically 1158, which is this one over here. There's actually a couple candles actually bouncing from there and getting rejected, so that's gonna be a pretty good target. If we break that, the next one is gonna be 1165, and after that we have 1169. This one, keep in mind that premiums are weird. I think the next one is basically 1183, which is pretty weird premium or option or whatever you want to call it. But that put us in a good situation because it's gonna be pretty cheap, and since we have a lot of time, there's a big possibility of actually making any money in the next couple of days if we get continuation to the upside. If we get a rejection, the one for puts I think is 1133. which is basically the final target. Dropping those 1132, there's a big possibility going to the bottom of the trend, which is basically 1110 slash 11. I think if we actually break the bottom of that trend, we're probably gonna break the bottom of the big trend. That's what I think, and get a little more downside on this one. Let me see the weekly. I didn't see the weekly. Small inside candle on the weekly. That's actually pretty good. I think this week is probably gonna be the one that's gonna give us the entry for long swing if we break levels to the upside. If we break levels to the downside, we're definitely gonna lose that trend and drop extremely hard. Again, if you look at the weekly, there's still the possibility of doing that double bottom, with the first one being here, second one being here, and neckline 14, which is this one over here. Again, levels on this one is gonna be 1158 for calls, 1143 for puts. Let's take a look at dark flow. A lot of accumulation at the current price. You can see here that we basically had a lot of here 1148. We have more 1142, 1130, 1120, and 1140. So basically kind of like a 3-4 days accumulation. 5-6 days actually. Wow, there's a lot of accumulation. Yeah, look at this. 7-8 days accumulation. Wow, so that's actually a pretty good sign that something crazy is about to happen on this one. You can basically see it here. This is kind of like a flaggish trend that we are in right now. So actually it looks really good, especially since the next premium is gonna be 1183. So it's actually putting us in a pretty good position. How much is the premium on that one? Let me see. I think it's really cheap. I think it's like 13-14 bucks. Let's see. 1185, 14 bucks. So 1185C is 14 bucks. So it's pretty cheap. Really cheap for a Monday premium. It's actually pretty cheap. Anyway, again, getting rejection from the top of the trend is gonna send us down. Gonna send us down hard. So keep that in mind. All right, next one is gonna be basically a snap. We've been doing really good on this one. The main thing on this one is basically the inside day that we just made. A lot of companies with inside day. If you see, the last time that we actually did a double inside day on this one ended up actually running extremely hard. I think I expecting nice volatility tomorrow, especially with all the TikTok news coming in. So let's see what happens. If you look at the hourly on this one, we kind of have an ascending or bear flag right now, ascending wedge, whatever you want to call it. Usually this double trend tends to break to the downside. There is also a head and shoulder with the first shoulder here, head, and second shoulder over here. Breaking from here, I think the main target, the first target is going to be around 1115, and if it breaks that, the final target is going to be around 1077. That's going to put us out of that selling wedge or flag, so I think we're going to gain a lot of momentum to drop down. Neckline is at 10. I don't see us going down there, but there's a possibility. 4 hours right now, it's actually pretty high. We also bearish, and we kind of like separating right now. If we start getting a little more selling pressure, we probably, again, we're gonna break that flag and drop pretty hard. It can go the other way if we get news that TikTok is gonna get banned. If we get news like that, do not hesitate to go in for a moment to the upside. And I think if that happens, there's a big possibility of going to 1210. 1 hour, I think it's actually showing a small bounce for tomorrow. We actually seen pretty small buying pressure lately and pretty small selling pressure. That's one of the main reasons that we did kind of like an inside day. So I think there's a possibility of opening to the upside tomorrow. If we got pop, there's a circumstance that we actually got up tomorrow, I think we're probably gonna reverse back down and trigger the selling on the 4 hours. Levels on this one, I'm gonna be looking at 1162 for calls, which is this one over here. I didn't actually want to go a little lower because there's a lot of noise around here, so I prefer just to go to a clear level. If you break those 1162, the next one is gonna be 1173, and after that we have 1187. For puts, you can either go to with 1144 or wait for those 1132. If we go to 1144, there's a little noise around here, so there might be a possibility of a bounce. I think breaking those 1132 might give us a little more space because the next one is basically 1120, but we don't have so many candles passing by around here, so that's actually weak support. Breaking 1120 is gonna trigger that head and shoulder, and it's gonna actually break from that flag, and it's actually gonna send us down pretty hard. Let's take a look at flow on this one. Big order that came in on Friday for 1156, basically a closing $5.7 million. This is actually a big order for Snap. It usually doesn't get so much shares in. If you see here, actually the biggest one that came in on the 23rd was basically 4 mil and then 2.7. So it's actually a pretty big order. A lot of accumulation, 3 days basically at those 1140, 1150. So another one is actually 4 days actually. Another one's actually getting ready for either a run or a reversal. I do like it a lot because of the inside day. It's extremely volatile, so you have to be careful with this one. I'm probably gonna put it at my secondary for tomorrow because we've been doing extremely good on this one, but still, just be careful. I think there's other stuff. I do like SoFi, but I think Suburban has it already. SoFi has kind of like a symmetrical triangle. We did 40% on this one on Friday. I'm still holding some for tomorrow. I think there's a possibility of either start moving up or breaking down. Whichever way it goes, remember, it has double inside day, which is something rare. The last, if you look at Snap, we had a double inside day the other day. I ended up actually running pretty hard to the upside, so it can go either way. But I think if we break to the upside, there's a big possibility of going to those 6, which is basically what we actually playing. If we break to the downside, we're probably gonna visit those 533. That's kind of like a small cup and handle on the daily. You can see here the cup. You can see the little handle, so it can go actually to the upside. 4 hours is bearish right now, so we can probably drop. We can actually, there's a possibility of dropping hard, so be careful on this one. Still, it's gonna be up to the market. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one for sure. There's a lot of stuff. AMC has double inside day too, but I'm not gonna touch it unless I see something good on this one. But for sure, my favorite for tomorrow is gonna be American Airlines, Snap, DKNG, and 4. WVA looks good too, but again, I'm gonna focus only on 4 tomorrow. I don't want to actually go crazy in the morning, jumping between positions. I'm gonna keep an eye on pre-market levels and orders. We've been doing really good on those pre-market orders. Last time we did pretty good on Intel, and Snap was actually getting pretty good pre-market orders. So we'll be getting nice levels from those. I think if I see something unusual, I'm probably gonna drop it. For sure, I'm gonna actually go with this 3 opening. 4 is gonna be probably my last one, but I like it for long, so I'm gonna wait to see what happens. Anyway, thank you guys for passing by. Keep an eye at 390 on SPY. If it drops 390, we're definitely gonna see a hard move to the downside. But 4 hours actually crossing to the upside, so that must actually give us pretty good room to the upside. But yeah, American Airlines, Snap, and DKNG. Thank you guys for passing by, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.